Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So we did do 2 videos yesterday. Just they didn't go up on Evolutionary or EE Arts, and they were a little different. One of them is this one, which was focused on information gained during channeling, but also this was different in that you get to see exactly how we channel. So that was a unique one. And the information that came out behind the fog is information nobody else has mentioned. And yeah, I don't know how many know, probably just some in the know, and then probably some that are also maybe gifted channelers, except for the fact that what we have gotten is that we are in absolutely monumentous time right now. There's no other way to put it. We are in a monumentous time of just rapid change, and we're going to be touching on something that could bring dramatic change in this video to the world much quicker than the scientists say. Again, it's you can't trust the science. Is like the motto for 2025. You just can't trust the science. But at the same time, there truly is nothing to fear. Your True Nature Revealed was up on OZONE. Again, every video goes up on Patreon.
Yes, and we want to say a huge, huge thank you to Keith, Lee, and Miss Evie. They're our 3 most recent supporters on Patreon, and I hope you guys enjoy the last Patreon we did. If you haven't, take a look at it, because it's something very, very different. We've never done that before, but we are going to start doing things where people can see inside of our world to see, well, what is it like around these people?
Yeah, to channel. And again, there's different ways of channeling as well. So obviously, we have a huge winter storm warning expanding out there. It is interesting, really, to watch, again, these big meteorologists kind of not have explanations for things as things just kind of keep growing and expanding. So if you're anywhere in the pink or this reddish color here, be very, very mindful. You have a blizzard warning up. You have to really be careful with icy conditions in a lot of the country. And now also the snow totals just keep going up. This is huge. This is impacting an area with a large amount of the U.S. population. So, again, do be mindful of your conditions in these times. They absolutely can change and also be far worse, or they might fizzle out, because people are waking up to the fact that there is no way in the world this is all natural. And that's really part of the big awakening. So again, if you are around Washington, D.C., you're probably going to see, you might very well see a foot of snow. When you're below that area here and you're getting into the icy mix, that's even more dangerous. So, again, be careful out there. It's something that you might have forgotten. January 6th at 1 o'clock, Congress must certify that Trump becomes 47. So they have to certify the election. Now, going way back, there was some talk that some may choose not to certify the election. And now we have this winter storm that's going to be impacting Washington, D.C. Many members, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene, by the way, so she's calling it out that many members of Congress left town this weekend, even though they were told to stay. Will they be able to get back? Will they be back? Will they show up? What does that mean? If there's any sort of delay in the certification, that's just another barrel of monkeys to open up and have fun with. Oh, yeah. This is a major earth change event that is taking place now. Now, how long will this event take to transpire fully? If you're looking at scientists, they're saying Africa is going to split. And it's going to cause all new areas of coastline where there are no areas of coastline right now. They say, it's going to take millions of years, guys. Don't worry. You got 5 or 10 million years. This is what they tell us. And, again, that is something that I don't believe because, again, we know that the science that they've given us is just basically sales. If you look to the recent quakes, see the swarm here. This is the last 24 hours, what they're showing. And, all around the world, actually, it's kind of ominously quiet at this moment. You see this swarm here south of Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. This swarm is huge. It's very large. When we look to 30 days, you can see there's 76 here in the last month. And the thing is, it's not like one of those little swarms where, it's 1 point this, 1 point that, 2 point something here and there, and every now and then a 3. No, these are all solid. These are all, mid 4s, 5s. These are pretty big quakes. You usually don't see quakes this big consistently in a spot that's off where the plates are. That's because this is going to become a new plate boundary. That's part of the reveal. See how this curves here? This is all going to cleave off at some point in time. And if you haven't seen some of the maps of Africa in the future, again, they're telling us, millions of years. You don't have to worry about this for 5 to 10 million years. But yes, the world is going to get, one of its largest islands, so to speak. Some say it's going to cleave into 2 continents instead of 1, but the reality is this chunk right here would be very substantial. If we have another Australia, as Africa is going to split, and the guides do confirm that Earth is going through a major change here, and the energy is building. It is very much building. So you have evacuations. Some say up to 80,000 people have been evacuated and moved to different areas. Now, this is Mount Dauphin. The ground is shaking. Steam is rising. This is 165 kilometers from Addis Ababa, which is a relatively large town/city. As you can see, you got steam coming off. It looks like there's mud bubbling there. Oh, this is a really interesting situation because, we are kind of witnessing the birth of something that, may be akin to the birth of a Greenland. This is kind of monumental here, and it's scary at the same time, certainly for anybody that's in this area. As you have these giant rifts opening up, the volcanic activity, nonstop, significant earthquakes. Again, they're 4.5 to 5.5 typically. It's getting ready for a change that we haven't seen in our lifetime. But again, this picture that they paint of the Earth is completely inaccurate, and the changes when they come, they can be very, very quick, relatively speaking, not talking millions of years.
No, and the information that I picked up so far is she is aware of what's going on. She's managing it. She's warning the people. She's warning the inhabitants everywhere, and she's aware of exactly what's going on. So I think people just need to pay attention to what they see and react appropriately for that, because she has every intention of making this split. And it's also what I heard is it's part of a cleansing. This is part of a cleansing process to break up the land. And in some ways, I don't know, in some ways it's the processes that do that brings a new energy to the land. So this is also what I'm hearing is that this energy is incoming Earth. It's part of her aura, or part of her essence is actually changing a lot in this area. So we'll have to see how she reacts to all that, but we can see the initial changes. But this is going to continue on, and it is going to break apart. How long, I don't know, but I hope these folks are not in the area.
But we don't think it's millions of years.
I don't think it's millions of years. No, I mean, I'm looking at this. It could be some months, it could be some years, but not millions.
Yeah, this is part of, again, the ascension process. The Earth is ascending, and we go into details on yesterday's video drop. And what we did with that one was it was kind of like a live in that it's a debut. So we played the video. We're there in chat, interacting with people and explaining what we were going through and doing. And yes, the Earth is ascending. Not everybody on Earth is going to ascend. The Earth is ascending, but not everybody is going to ascend. This is part of just how it's going. There is going to be a split, a natural, unnatural divide. And I think a lot of people recognize this in different terminology. People were using terms like the harvest, and from the law of one, and also of course the rapture, etc., things like that. There's going to be several things going on. There is something that's going to occur before the split is complete, and that was something also brand new that we had never heard of before or gotten info on, and we'll go into a later time a little bit more in depth. But this is a situation to monitor for anybody in that area. We send our prayers and best wishes. Animals know when to take off, and that's one of the signs you always look for. Are the animals acting weird? And if something big is coming and the animals are acting weird, then take notice and again listen to the guides, your guides. We all have guides, whether you believe in them or not. Whether you can hear them or not. We do have beings that are guiding us on the other side, sometimes, frustratingly, but understandingly, kind of screaming on the top of their lungs, so to speak, for us to do something or not do something. And, again, this system that's in place has made it so that first off, people are afraid of their guides, or they believe they're dark and evil, but no, the guides are not evil. Evil is the system that's been in place, and that's part of the reveal. So more people will be putting two and two together and saying, wait a minute, so I can understand now that we have not been given, truthful information. In fact, the sources that control the planet have been very deceitful. And so maybe I should look to the opposite of what I've always been brought up with. And there you will be closer to the truth. So the sun, too, obviously is taking a huge part in the shifting of the consciousness of the planet. As you could see, in the last 48 hours, we have 3 X class. They're all small, X 1.1, 1.2, 1.8. But yeah, increase in solar activity, the KP did get up to, as you can see here, a 5. This is all changing our reality. It's completely changing our reality. The world is not going to be the same place, even post 2030. It's rapidly changing, and even perhaps, I think another key date now for us is mid-2028 in so many ways. This year right here that we're stepping into is unprecedented. It's going to be absolutely unprecedented. It's going to blow minds in so many ways. It really is an awakening that we have not seen. And yet there are going to be those that ignore everything and just kind of, hum along and say, la, 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 I can't hear you. Even though it's like Leslie Nielsen, if you remember him from those old comedic airplane movies and stuff. nothing to see here, or what was that, Police Academy? Where it would say, nothing to see here. There's bombs falling. There's planes coming out of the sky. Nothing to see here, folks. Move on.
Yes, moving forward.
Speaking of planes falling out of the sky, another plane, this one another Boeing, wheels explode on the runway during takeoff with 300 on board. All of the passengers disembarked safely, thankfully. If you guys have been following us for a long time, you'll remember when Cindy channeled the kids from the future. And in this future scenario, which we could see ever more clearly, and maybe we should replay some of those videos. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to include some. Because, again, if you've been following us for years, you're going to see that the general track of the information that we've gotten has been correct, and it's been on par. Going back to 2018 January, the second time I posted a video, because the first one was taken down. In 2017 November, I posted one and then had to repost it in January with a few omissions. So this is back now. We're looking at 7 full years ago, and I said there was going to be what looks like a fake alien invasion. There's going to be surveillance with drones in the sky like you've never seen before, and then what appears to be an invasion and attack on the U.S. by Russia, China, and other nations. And all this is still ongoing, and it is manifesting kind of on schedule, because it's a script. They're running through a script, and when they tell you, "Oh, okay, then that's just the Northern Lights," well, consciousness creates this reality. Who created you? Well, you did. Ultimately, your embodiment is a temporary thing, and that's part of what we went into on Heart's Home, where we talk about real spirituality. These are entities. When you look at this, yes, you can say these are angelic intelligences. They're
very, very, very large angelic beings who come and they communicate, and their embodiment is that it can change, it can communicate. So it is no mistake when you see a wolf, or when you see a bird, or anything that you see with these, they're making it to communicate with you. It's very, very deliberate, because they hold an enormous amount of love. So when you see a phoenix rising, it's no mistake. You see a butterfly, it's no mistake. These beings are there so that they can change the way they look. So, if you do see one of these and it happens to be a certain animal or a certain insect, I would definitely be looking up that animal or insect to see, wow, how does that apply in my life? Because there's a reason why you stumbled across a certain picture of this aurora borealis, and there's a reason why you saw what you saw. It's all about the communication. So, did it create itself into a butterfly just for you? Absolutely. Absolutely. If you saw it, it's about you. And it's a beautiful thing. And, having people make that realization and say, wow, this is kind of cool. This world is magical. And I love to see the magic. When I see the magic behind the scenes, it just makes me cry. It's beautiful.
That's what the Bronze Age is. It's a return to magic.
Yep.
In so many ways. This is the time of myth and legends come real and alive. So you have to live here for 1 year. You'll have unlimited food, but you can bring only one thing. What is it? I want to hear what you guys would bring. What would you bring? If it's just going to be you and that house, and yet you have all the basic needs that you need, what would be the just one item that you would bring? That's something I'm looking forward to these answers. A proven way to stay younger longer. All it takes is an hour each week, and the answer is volunteering. Volunteering. Studies show that when you give, you actually are getting too. You're getting a longer, healthier life. Absolutely. This is the key. It's all about love. It really is. Love is the true secret to everything.
Love moves you. Love is not just an emotion. Love is that thing that moves the universe. Love is that thing that makes changes in your life. So it's very, very important to call that thing called love into your life, because it makes you healthy. It makes you happy. You know, if you're having a really hard time, sometimes the best way to get over it is to go find someone else who needs help. And we definitely do not have a lack of those who need help in this world. We have animal shelters, we have elderly, we have so many places, we have children, schools. I mean, I used to volunteer at a school, and the thing was, I think it was like second and third grade I volunteered at. And some of these kids, you know, that you were the one thing they depended on seeing, because things weren't so good at home. So, you know, find a place, put yourself there, and just absorb the love.
Yes, and share it. And hey, when it's cold and snowy or icy in the winter, or just rainy and dreary, find a snuggle buddy, and you know, maybe it's one of your furry friends.
Oh, definitely. It's always good for a furry friend.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for your support. We couldn't do it without you guys. Again, you could join us on Patreon for just $1 a month. It's $10.80 for a year at this point. And that, you know, is when you pay for 1 year in advance. Exclusive videos each week. And also we're going to be doing more different types of events over there as well, and different types of playlists we're going to be expanding on. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.